so I wrote a line now that's just commonplace, but that I used to do in my DJ clubs. If the party's over here and the party's over there, everybody in the house say hell yeah.
I woke up one morning and I said, I'm not gonna let anybody tell my story to my kids except me. And I hope that anybody else that feels like that comes on board.
What up, what up? Man, it feels good to just hear all this history and nostalgia from back in the days. I've been working with G-Bone right now, even on videos as we speak. Man, I'm telling you, the longevity we've had from it is because we've stayed true and dedicated to the perseverance of West Coast sound and West Coast hip-hop.
KGFJ named us LA's first official rap group. I never thought I'd live long enough to see any of this. And nobody was thinking about being the first of anything or being a historical figure or anything.
There's a lot of history behind Roger Clayton and Uncle Jam's Army and how he got started. I can take you back to where my brother's vision was. So I'm very familiar with your work, so I know what this project is going to be. And I support you 110%, Greg.
Plain and simple, I thought it was always one side of the story. I was blessed to witness hip-hop, in my opinion, be birthed right here in the West Coast.
On October 2nd, 1971, Soul Train made its national debut.
When I first saw how the kids in LA danced, it was a little wild and crazy for me.
The Lockers, a group of Soul Train dancers who toured the country showcasing their synchronized street moves and outrageous outfits.
Don Campbell was the inventor of the dance called locking. It's just the locking of the joints. It's like you move and you lock. Lock, lock,
Ladies and gentlemen, the Lockers.
You know, it started for me in the dance game. I was like second grade, and everybody was standing up. You know, what you want to be in life? You know, kids was like, I want to be a policeman, a fireman. I stood up and was like I want to be a locker.
I like the dressing of the locking. I like the apple hat. I like to wear a vest to school. I was little, going to elementary school dressed like a locker. Everybody looked at me like this dude's a weirdo. But I was like, I'm fly and whatever.
I'm from the East Coast. I have to let that be known. But I think that there's a place for the East Coast, you know what I'm saying, even in working around West Coast projects. Because what G-Bone has showed me is that working together, we can, you know, help to make this project something that everybody just understands the significance and the importance of, you know, what West Coast hip-hop has done.
That dance actually served as the original format of how we as breakdancers, we formatted our routines. Those dances set the trend for the hip-hop dancers to come.
I say before there was hip-hop, there was pop lock, because we didn't pop to hip-hop. We didn't pop to rap. We were popping to Cameo, Funkadelic.
I am Sir Lowe's, the boy of funk.
Popping is the popping of the joints. It's boom, bang, pop, pop, pop.
This music saved my life. Hop locking was my first love in hip hop, and it will always be. So just to know that now, instead of plugging somebody in my mind, we can actually plug in that screen and show them the history of how we have all developed, where we truly come from, and where our heart space is in. We didn't start doing this for money.
I really got turned out when I was a participant in that long Uncle Jam's freak line at 14 years old. You know, if you ain't ever been part of that, you don't know what you're missing, boy.
As far as the history is concerned, there's so much out there that's not been told that I'm really looking forward to helping you as much as I can, whatever I remember. You know what I mean? I was there. I was young, but I was there. I seen a lot, you know.
I break, therefore I am. I break through life. Everything that's been going on in my life, I keep dancing through it. I keep breaking through it. That's why I'm an LA breaker for life.
It was funny because this is how it worked. This is why he was pissed off, okay? His first time to LA, listen to this, imagine this. LL Cool J, first time in LA, downtown. And he comes, and it's all the billboards, all right, they read, performing live, the world famous LA Breakers. A couple other people, and LL Cool J. He was pissed off, because first of all, our name is like this, bow. His name is like this, all right?
The Los Angeles Art Show 2010 at the Los Angeles Convention Center has 10,000 objects of art on display, and all pieces are for sale. Hold it! Hold it! What is this guy doing there at the photo mural? Is this a tagger?
Excuse me, sir. Don't you normally get arrested for doing that?
Nope. You know, hip-hop has been a very significant thing in my life, starting off as a young kid and being able to travel with it, being able to teach a lot of the young, new, up-and-coming kids about the proper way of looking at this culture, you know, to be able to embrace it and grow from it, and to be able to utilize it in the proper way without abusing it and looking down upon it, because a lot of people think this culture is all about just rap music, but it's bigger than just rap.
I came out here in 82, Evil and I. We didn't know nothing about Los Angeles. We moved into Cudahy, California with the Latino community. We didn't even know blacks existed in Los Angeles. And we met Kid Frost back in the days. That was prior to Ice-T. So Frost and I, you know, Frost took us to the Pico Rivera Sports Arena, two brothers rapping in front of thousands of Latinos. They looking at us like we was crazy.
I want everybody in the house. Say hola, hola, hola. Say hola, hola, hola.
I became a K-Day mix master. Then I slid over there on the west side and met Ultra Wave. From there, I met Uncle Jam's Army, and I was dressed up. I had my Kango. Me and my brother had our little leather jackets, and they was laughing at us, looking at us like wannabe on DMCs, not realizing that, you know, we actually brung that from the East Coast to the West. Today, we did this movie called Art of Rap. Y'all can see it out in the movies now. It's real big. It's relevant. It's cool. I'm excited about this because this is another division of the Art of Rap.
Hey, homie, I'm getting tired of dudes just getting over on the raza.
And I'm glad to be part of the history of the whole West Coast movement. We started out in East LA. I'm glad to be part of it. Anything G-Bone needs, we got it. And we just want to let y'all know that we're going to be part, and we're going to hold down our side from the East LA side. And I'm going to bring back everybody from Tony G, to Julio G, who started all my career, Mayme Ace, and everybody else that started on that side of the East side. I'm going to get on the phone with them as we're going home, and we're going to make sure that we get everybody on that side aboard so we can bring the pictures and all the stuff and the history. I'd like to see some of this exhibition and all that done in live form, where they can see some of the Medusas and the Kid Frost and stuff like that, and the Poppers, and everybody come out and perform in front of these people and have them do live exhibitions and just looking at pictures and stills and stuff. It tells a lot of the history, but if they can see it live, they can really understand it and grasp it more.
Ain't no party like an old school party, cause the old school party don't stop. We hear this. Ain't no party like an old school party, cause the old school party don't stop.
For real, man. I'm glad to be part of it. I love y'all, man. Thank you.
You know, and
I often say what we created during those years was really phenomenal because it helped really not only the hip-hop industry, but the clothing industry, film and TV. There's a lot that we had our hands on that, like you said, we got to tell the story. People got to know where it came from.
I mean, someone said earlier about we have to define ourselves, and I really truly do believe that we do need to define ourselves, because if we don't, we leave it up to other people, they're gonna define us.
Bling bling, for shizzle my nizzle, yo bitch, for shizzle my nizzle, bling bling, for shizzle my nizzle.
Then you was in the West Side. West Side is the best. West Side is the best.
The whole world is West Coast hip hop now. It's in our advertisement, it's in our sports, it's in our soft drinks.
I'm up to my knees in 0 calories.
West Coast hip hop is embedded now into a worldwide phenomenon.
What's Snoop doing here? We're tight.
С этого бита идет моя движуха. Будем говорить о рэпчике одинцовского хутора.
Vietnamese nigga, Chucky Atkins. Đánh tao hả? Bring it nigga.
J'débarque dans la soirée comme un cruise de Long Beach. En 6-4 rime pas là pour faire triquer les bitches. Et j'pète un gros joint pour me mettre bien avant de rentrer dans la boîte et faire le chien.
22s, 38s, 44s, one love. But too many niggas told one mistake, and they dig a shallow hole. One mixtape to let all these niggas know.
Listen to what I have to say. Shake City breaks on the floor one way. They are tough, they blow your bluff. So listen to them as they strut their stuff. Well, I'm Jazzy D and the place to be. Together, we're gonna make history.
Because when we were doing it, we did not know and didn't have no idea it was gonna be as big as it is. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and we make 10 cents off of it.
What happened was he ended up selling the master to Joey Jefferson of Jazz City Records, who was a slime ball. He sold our record all over the country. Told us it wasn't selling at all. Captain Rap and I were doing a show up at Osco's, and this lady come up out the audience and said, "Your record is #1 in Jacksonville." We looked at each other and said, "Jacksonville?" Well, he said, "Jacksonville, Florida." And so we found out our record was a national record, and we weren't getting paid a dime. So I broke up the group, and I didn't know what else to do. I was so depressed. The other thing that happened was Motown called me and Captain Rap up to Motown Studios. They wanted to sign us. We would have been Motown's first rap group. We were already signed with Joey, and when I read when the Motown executive looked at the contract, he said, "Do you see this? What kind of deal you got?" I said, "We did a 1-year deal. If it works, it not." He said, "He's got you down for 7 consecutive options." I said, "What is that?" He said, "That means he can keep you for 7 years, even if you don't record another thing with him." I couldn't sign with Motown.
This is a perfect example of what we had to do 35, 40 years ago to get our make records, because when we was knocking on doors in Motown, CBS, all those folks, nobody was hearing that. I love watching Unsung. I love watching Behind the Music, but we never get mentioned, okay? And when they mentioned me sometime in the NWA video or whatever the case may be, although I was a driving force behind most of that stuff, a friend of Dre's, a friend of Easy's, my role is always minimized. We have to acknowledge our own. If somebody got to say somebody ought to do it, somebody ought to be you, okay? Greg, thank you for being that person.
This story has to come out. And the real story has to come out. You can't just put anything out there, because it'll be a disservice to all of us and our children and the world. They want to hear this story.
I don't want to tell your story. That's not what I want to do. I want you all to tell the story. What we're good at is showing you how to fix it up, make it look pretty, put it in a package so it can travel around the world, working with the books, creating the films, getting the visitors in. We can do that. But the story is your story.
If you follow us, you will get the full
feeling of what it was and what it is. Because we are pop culture. Don't let anybody ever tell you any different. We are pop culture. Pop culture today is based on things that you all put in